So in this reaction video, we're gonna find out how 1,000 Filipino troops fought alongside Allied forces versus 40,000 Chinese soldiers. That is crazy. As soon as I received this suggestion, I was extremely intrigued. It also reminded me of the story of the Spartans, the 300 Spartans who fought an army that was like 20 times the size of the 300 Spartans. So I am very curious to see if 1,000 Filipinos were able to beat 40,000 Chinese soldiers. You know what I'm saying? But if you are new to the channel, welcome! Maligayang pagbabalik sa aking channel! My name is Ovela. I am a sound engineer, beatmaker, and content creator on YouTube. And with that being said, let's jump right into it.
In honor of those who sacrificed their lives for freedom, Masid proudly presents The Battle of Yultong, a story of how Filipino troops braved a sea of Chinese soldiers during the Korean War. The Korean War began on June 25, 1950, when North Korea, backed by China and the Soviet Union, crossed the border into South Korea in an attempt to capture its capital, Seoul. In response, the United Nations Security Council, through the formation of the United Nations Command, ordered the deployment of military forces to stop the invasion. On August 7, 1950, President Elpidio Quirino, with approval from Congress, sent 7,420 Filipino combat troops to fight in South Korea. President Quirino saw this as a commitment to help a friend and as part of a larger battle to save the world from communism. The 10th Battalion Combat Team, the Philippine Expeditionary Forces to Korea, was the first battalion to arrive on Busan shores on September 19, 1950. The 10th Battalion, made up of 1,303 enlisted men and 64 officers, was originally a motorized battalion sent to operate tanks from the US, but when none arrived, was turned into a heavy weaponry unit instead. On the night of April 22, the 10th Battalion, as part of the US 65th Infantry Regiment of the US 3rd Infantry Division, was attacked north of Yultong by a large force of Chinese and North Korean soldiers. This would be known in history as the Great Spring Offensive, one of the largest offensives by the 44th Division of the Chinese People's Volunteer Army and the Communist North Korean Army during the Korean War.
Clearly
in
a
front
lot
of the
more
Filipinos
Chinese
were 4
than
Chinese divisions numbering about 40,000 men. Just after midnight, the Chinese began their attack with a heavy artillery barrage. Soon after, the Chinese forces advanced, but had difficulty as the 10th Battalion successfully defended their positions with mortar and artillery. However, a massive Chinese assault pushed the Turkish brigade from their position, allowing the Chinese to surround the Filipinos' eastern side. Seeing the incoming danger, Lieutenant Colonel Junicio Ojeda immediately organized a unit of battalion cooks and clerks to fortify and defend the east flank. With the help of M24 light tanks and artillery support, Lieutenant Colonel Ojeda's makeshift unit was able to hold off the advancing Chinese forces. The situation only got worse when the Puerto Rican 65th Infantry Regiment, situated on the west flank, began to fall back from Chinese attack. With the west flank now exposed,
so the Turkish and the Puerto Ricans are not in the game anymore, right? They're done. So only Filipinos remain standing up to the Chinese. Damn.
Chinese began advancing but were blocked by a platoon of Filipino soldiers situated on a hill overlooking Yultong. Commanded by Lieutenant Jose Arciaga, this platoon refused to yield, held their ground. This gave Lieutenant Arciaga's company commander, Captain Conrado Yap, enough time to mount a counterattack. The counterattack successfully extracted the trapped platoon from the hill and also stopped the Chinese from further advancing. But sadly, Lieutenant Arciaga and Captain Yap were killed during the fight. In the early morning of April 23, Lieutenant Colonel Ojeda led the second counterattack using M24 tanks. This caught the Chinese off guard and pushed them away from the hill they were trying to seize. The Filipinos fought until midday before it was ordered to withdraw and link up with the rest of the division in the south. 15 Filipino soldiers died, 26 were wounded, and 14 were missing in action, while the Chinese and North Koreans lost around 500 soldiers. The 10th Battalion's effort at Yultong
the comparison
allowed the
is
US 3rd
insane.
Infantry Division to successfully withdraw from the battlefield, which would later on prove to turn the war in favor of the Allies. 2 weeks later, the Communists began ceasefire negotiations after suffering more heavy losses. For the next...
This is impressive! I mean, Filipinos, Koreans, Turkish, and Puerto Ricans were helping Korea to fight the Chinese. So, but the only soldiers that remained in the battle were Filipinos. And they're not even fighting for their own country, right? They're fighting for Korea. Yo, that's crazy. You would think, you know, that it's Koreans that should be able to withstand the Chinese, you know, and not the Filipinos. But bruh, Filipinos got heart.
2 years, the Korean War was mostly battled from hilltops until a ceasefire was finally declared. Out of the 7,420 Filipino soldiers sent, 113 were killed, 313 wounded, 15 missing, and 41 held as prisoners of war. Today, a monument stands inside the War Memorial of Korea in honor of the many Filipino soldiers who fought for the liberation of Korea. Recently, during the 69th anniversary of the Korean War, the late Captain Conrado Yap was awarded the Taeguk Medal, the highest military decoration given to a soldier for bravery in combat. Also awarded the Taeguk Medal was fellow 10th Battalion team member Major Maximo Young for his heroism at the Battle of Myeongdong. The efforts of the 10th Battalion in the Battle of Yultong was instrumental in turning the tide of the war in favor of the Allied forces. South Korea remains a free democracy, thanks to the contribution of soldiers like the Fighting Filipinos, a name given by the US Command to the brave men of the 10th Battalion Combat Team. Did you like our story? Are there other heroic adventures of Filipinos you want us to feature? Let us know in the comment box. Don't forget to like this video. Also, subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Thanks for watching.
The exact same message if you liked my reaction to this video. Subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. I have so much respect for soldiers and people that go to war to defend their country. I do not take it for granted what they do for their country and their countrymen, you know. They go and fight on behalf of an entire population to keep it safe. Do you know how hard that is? My gosh, I thank the universe every day for the life that I have. It's not a perfect life, but I cannot imagine doing what these soldiers do. So respect. And in this case, it's even more impressive because it's just a small amount of Filipinos that were able to withstand 40,000 Chinese soldiers, you know? Yo, I got so much respect for that. Seriously. If you have any further information or details about this insane event, let me know in the comment section below. You know, I would not be surprised if there is already a movie about this huge historical event, you know, because it is very, very impressive. Maraming salamat po. And of course, if you got value out of this video, then do not hesitate to check out my other reaction videos right here.